Welcome to our video on the rise and fall of Lance Armstrong. One of the most celebrated cyclists of all time. Armstrong's inspiring story of overcoming cancer and dominating the Tour de France captivated the world. However, his success was later tarnished by revelations of doping, leading to a shocking downfall that left fans disillusioned. In this video, we'll explore Armstrong's journey from a rising star to a fallen hero, and examine the impact of his legacy on the world of sports. Lance Armstrong's rise and fall is a story that has captivated the sports world for decades. Armstrong was once the king of cycling, a 7-time Tour de France champion, and a hero to many. However, his legacy was tarnished by accusations of doping and his eventual admission of guilt. We will explore Armstrong's life and career, from his early years to his fall from grace. The early years, Armstrong's childhood and early career. Lance Armstrong was born in Plano, Texas, on September 18, 1971. His mother, Linda, was a secretary, and his father, Eddie, was a route manager for the Dallas Morning News. Armstrong was a natural athlete, showing promise in both swimming and running at a young age. However, it was cycling that captured his heart. At the age of 12, Armstrong began competing in cycling races. He quickly established himself as a talented young rider and began to dream of one day competing in the Tour de France. Armstrong's early career was marked by success, as he won several national championships and earned a spot on the U.S. national cycling team. Cancer and comeback, Armstrong's triumph over cancer and return to cycling. In 1996, at the age of 25, Armstrong was diagnosed with testicular cancer that had spread to his lungs and brain. He underwent surgery and chemotherapy, and his prognosis was uncertain. However, Armstrong's determination and resilience helped him to beat the disease, and he returned to cycling in 1998. Armstrong's comeback was nothing short of remarkable. He won several races, including the Tour de France, in 1999, just 1 year after his cancer diagnosis. Armstrong's story of triumph over adversity captured the public's imagination, and he became a symbol of hope and inspiration for cancer survivors around the world. 7 straight, Armstrong's dominance in the Tour de France. Armstrong went on to win 7 consecutive Tour de France titles from 1999 to 2005, establishing himself as one of the greatest cyclists of all time. His dominance in the sport was unparalleled, and he became a household name around the world. However, Armstrong's success was not without controversy. Rumors of doping began to circulate, and Armstrong was repeatedly accused of using performance-enhancing drugs to gain an unfair advantage. Armstrong vehemently denied the accusations, and he continued to dominate the Tour de France year after year. The Livestrong Foundation, Armstrong's philanthropic contributions and impact. In 1997, Armstrong founded the Livestrong Foundation, a non-profit organization dedicated to supporting people affected by cancer. The foundation raised millions of dollars and became a leading voice in the fight against cancer. Armstrong's philanthropic efforts earned him widespread praise and admiration, and he was hailed as a hero both on and off the bike. Doping allegations begin, Armstrong's first accusations of performance-enhancing drug use. Despite Armstrong's repeated denials, the rumors of doping continued to grow louder. In 2004, Armstrong was accused of using performance-enhancing drugs by a French newspaper, which cited anonymous sources. Armstrong vehemently denied the allegations, and he sued the newspaper for libel. The denials. Lance Armstrong consistently denied allegations of doping throughout his career, even as rumors and suspicions swirled around him. He was particularly aggressive in his denials, attacking and suing anyone who accused him of cheating. He also claimed that he had passed hundreds of drug tests throughout his career, insisting that he was clean. Despite his vehement denials, Armstrong's reputation began to unravel in 2010 when former teammate Floyd Landis accused him of doping. Landis claimed that Armstrong had not only used performance-enhancing drugs but had also encouraged his teammates to do so as well. Armstrong dismissed the allegations, calling Landis a liar and a cheat. However, the allegations sparked an investigation by the United States Anti-Doping Agency, USADA. The USADA investigation. In 2012, the United States Anti-Doping Agency, USADA, launched an investigation into Lance Armstrong's alleged use of performance-enhancing drugs, PEDs. The investigation was prompted by numerous allegations of doping made against Armstrong by former teammates and competitors. The USADA's investigation was thorough and extensive, spanning over several years and involving hundreds of interviews and thousands of pages of evidence. In October 2012, the USADA released its findings, concluding that Armstrong had been using PEDs throughout his cycling career and had engaged in systematic doping practices with his team. Armstrong initially denied the allegations, but in January 2013, he granted an interview to Oprah Winfrey in which he admitted to doping throughout his career. Armstrong's admission shocked the world and forever tarnished his reputation as a cycling champion. As a result of his admission, Armstrong was stripped of all of his Tour de France titles and banned from cycling for life. The USADA also imposed a lifetime ban on Armstrong from any involvement in the sport of cycling, including coaching and consulting. The fallout. The fallout from Armstrong's admission was swift and severe. He lost all of his major sponsors, including Nike, Oakley, and Anheuser-Busch. Armstrong's net worth plummeted, and he was forced to step down from his position as chairman of the Lance Armstrong Foundation, which he had founded to raise money for cancer research. Armstrong's reputation also suffered a major blow. Once revered as a cycling hero and cancer survivor, he was now seen as a fraud and a cheat. Armstrong's fall from grace was a sobering reminder of the dangers of doping in professional sports and the importance of maintaining integrity and ethics. The Redemption Tour. Despite the severity of his punishment and the damage to his reputation, Armstrong did not give up. He embarked on a redemption tour, seeking to rebuild his image and regain the trust of his fans and the cycling community. Armstrong made several public apologies and sought to make amends for his past actions. He also became an advocate for anti-doping efforts in sports and worked to promote awareness of the dangers of PEDs. However, Armstrong's attempts at redemption were met with mixed reactions. Many in the cycling community were skeptical of his sincerity, and some felt that his public apologies were insincere and self-serving. Armstrong's fall from grace had been too severe, and his actions too damaging, to be easily forgiven or forgotten. The legacy of Lance Armstrong. Today, Lance Armstrong's legacy is a complex and controversial one. While his doping scandal and subsequent fall from grace have forever tarnished his reputation, his impact on the sport of cycling and on cancer awareness cannot be ignored. Armstrong's 7 consecutive Tour de France wins were a remarkable achievement, and he was a powerful symbol of perseverance and strength in the face of adversity. His work with the Lance Armstrong Foundation also helped to raise millions of dollars for cancer research and to promote awareness of the disease. Thank you for watching our video on the rise and fall of Lance Armstrong. It's a story that reminds us of the dangers of idolizing public figures without fully understanding their flaws and mistakes. Armstrong's story is a powerful reminder that success can be fleeting, and that the consequences of cheating can be far-reaching. As we move forward, we must continue to hold athletes and public figures accountable for their actions, and strive to create a culture of honesty and integrity in the world of sport.